What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk. It is Tuesday. It is 6 o'clock. It is time for some fantasy football talk. Guys, we're kind of close. Some of y'all already done your draft already. Okay, I did one draft yesterday. I got three more to go. I got one right after this show, and I am just pumped. I'm excited. And if you guys need some last minute advice on who to draft or who's the biggest steal, this is a place to listen, okay? We're going to name some big old players that you got to get them now before they pop off and they're no longer available, okay? You want these players that we're going to name. They're big time guys. It's going to be super fun, super exciting. This is not going to be a long show. It's going to be a faster show because, like I said, we do have an NSP draft right after this, and we do have an event towards the end of this episode where we will be doing a raffle on who's going to go where on the draft list. Okay, so we're gonna have a lot of fun today. We're psyched out of our mind. I'm pumped. These guys are pumped. Let's go. I didn't get the memo. I'm not wearing the cap. Obviously, they don't want me on the show. But let's kick it right off, you guys. Biggest steals in this draft that you can do for fantasy football. Anyone want to go first? Y'all want me to do the honors? Vincent wants to go first there. Okay.
I wasn't here yesterday because I was a little sick. Don't know if y'all can hear it, but the first guy I really want to talk about because he's the first guy that really goes off the board. His name is Adam Thielen. If you know who he is, you should know who he is. He's been with the Vikings almost, I think, his whole career. Him and Kirk Cousins have a really good rapport when they're out there. Last year, he only played 12 games because he was injured, but he had 67 receptions on 95 targets, 726 yards, and 10 touchdowns. This guy doesn't seem like a touchdown machine, but last year he was, and he only played 12 games. So a lot of those games he had 2 touchdowns. Some had 1. I think there was only 2 or 3 in the whole season where he had no touchdowns. But this guy, he's been amazing. Every game that he played, he averaged about 15 to 17 fantasy points. Some weeks he went up to 20, but it just depends on which week he had 2 touchdowns. So for me, he's the obvious number 2, but of course his production is going to go down because Jefferson is the obvious number 1. He's going to get the most targets from Kirk Cousins. But again, this guy is very good, and his average draft pick is 74. So he's going to be going in those round 6 to round 7 rounds. So let's say you get your first top 2 running backs, first 2 wide receivers, and maybe you get a tight end. The next option for sure is Adam Thielen. He's going to help you win your fantasy league.
All right.
Guys, I like it. And if y'all remember, I actually sent out a tweet on who's going to be the comeback fantasy player of the year. And Adam Thielen was on there. He did have a so-so year last year, but can he come back? Can he take advantage of Justin Jefferson being that number 1 wide receiver and being that back leg for that offense? Can he do that? I think he can. And honestly, you could get Adam Thielen very cheap. I believe he's going around round 8. If so, I mean, I think he'll be a great wide receiver 3 or a top flex for your option. But yeah, I like that pick, Vince. Great job.
All right. I'll go next then. I've got Robert Tanyan. I'm a big, obviously big Packer guy, very biased here. But as far as my fantasy philosophy, I believe if you can't get the top 3 tight ends like Travis Kelce, Kittle, Waller, whoever you put at the top 3, that you really shouldn't draft anybody until the late rounds. Try to find a diamond in the rough, somebody like Robert Tanyan. Tanyan is coming off of an ACL tear from last year. Last year he only played, I forget how many games. I think it was like 3 or 4, but he had only 2 touchdowns for 204 yards. Very small sample size right there. But his last full year, and that was his greatest year, what he had was back in 2020, the COVID year, 11 touchdowns and 586 yards. 11 touchdowns. That's huge. Some of these top tight ends aren't even getting that. Now the yardage, 500. That's not it's not anything to run home for. But at the end of the day, he's somebody who can get in these late rounds and be a steal for you. Tanyan, everybody's forgetting about him because they think he's a fluke or he's coming off an ACL tear. They don't know if he's coming back week 1. guys, he's coming back week 1. All right. I'm very, very positive that he will be coming back week 1. He's not confirmed yet. Matt Fleur won't confirm anything, but he is on the right track to be able to start week 1, if not week 2. So get this guy. Everybody's going to forget about him, and you will end up hit with him in the late rounds.
Nice. I like that pick. I do believe it is just a little bit biased, Reed.
Come
But
on, man. 11 touchdowns. 11.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's a touchdown machine.
Is it
and
possible?
Devontae Adams is gone.
Exactly. Yes, Devontae Adams is gone. So yes, it's possible. They're still looking for that number 1 wide receiver for that team. And maybe they can turn into that tight end team. Maybe Rodgers can, put to rest that deep ball. I mean, we'll see. Only time could tell. Nestor, what's up, dude? Appreciate you being here live, man. Welcome to Fantasy Football Talk. I guess it's my turn, huh, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've been raving about this guy all off season. Okay, so you guys know where I'm going with this. I'm going with this guy named J.K. Dobbins. Okay, and I know what you guys are saying, but AJ, there's a chance where he might not play week 1, and I get that. Okay, and I get that, but he looks healthy right now, and I am fully confident that he will play week 1. Now, if you guys do want to do a little handcuff, okay, I did this today. In my first fantasy league, I went out there and put a waiver request on Kenyon Drake, okay, because he is out there practicing at the Ravens facility. I don't know if he signed yet, but more than likely he will sign. Gus Edwards is already on the PUP list. He's going to be missing at least 4 weeks there. If J.K. Dobbins does not make it to week 1, this guy, Kenyon Drake, can't score you a lot of fantasy points because the Baltimore Ravens are a run-heavy team. Now, they don't pass a lot, okay, whether it be running with Lamar Jackson, whether it be running with their backs. But just like last year, they're very slim on their backs. But if J.K. Dobbins is out, they get Kenyon Drake. I fully believe he will be the bell cow of that team that day. But other than that, J.K. Dobbins will be the bell cow no matter what throughout the season. This guy's a stud. Yeah, he was a high prospect in college, and I do believe he will take a workload for the Baltimore Ravens, especially in that red zone.
For sure.
Nice. Yeah, I picked up J.K. Dobbins, so I'm hoping he plays week 1. But other than that, I got some other running backs out there. But another guy I really, really want to talk about, who's also a part of the Lions squad, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Me and AJ talked about him so much last year when we did the openings of a fantasy draft show. So I just want to talk a little bit about him from last year. The first few weeks, he wasn't the greatest. But for Reed, I know he knows this because Amon-Ra scored a lot of points on him in the last week of the season, and that's why they beat the Packers. I believe in that last game, he had about 30 points on fantasy. So it's pretty crazy. Last year, let me give you a little rundown of how good he was. He had 119 targets and 90 receptions. So he almost eclipsed that 100 reception per season mark, and he had 912 yards. And you can think that that's not a lot of yards, but it is, especially for a guy who had just come into the league. How's it going, Johnny Wisconsin? It's good to have you on the show, man. I believe it's the first time we have him on the show. Am I correct, AJ?
Yes, I do believe it is the first time. I have not seen him message. Hey, Johnny, appreciate you being here live. Welcome to Not So Pro Football Talk. We have an open community. Please ask us any questions you would like. As you know, fantasy football is coming. The draft is coming to an end. We've already done some drafts here. We're going to do a live draft after this show. So if you want to stick around, it should be a lot of fun. But feel free to ask us questions. Today, we're talking about steals that you can get late in your draft.
Yeah, man. Like I just said, happy to have you on the show. But 912 yards, and he only had 5 touchdowns. But I did say this a little bit earlier right now. The ending of the season in those last 5 to 6 weeks, he was extraordinary. He had an average of 25 points per game. So that is insane. I believe the lowest he scored in that last 6 weeks was 15, and the next lowest was 23 points. So he was a guy who went off on the end of the season, and he's looking to repeat that throughout the entire season this upcoming year. But those last 4 weeks, he had a touchdown in each week. So he's looking to make sure that he does that.
Okay.
Ooh.
Johnny, you can leave the facility right now.
No, you can stay right here.
Johnny.
This is a
unacceptable
Packer pro show right here, right?
This is a not so pro Packers show.
No.
Come on, dude.
Hey, I'm not talking about Lazard this week for fantasy steals, even though he is.
Hey, give it
But
to him, Reed. Give him your
last
spiel.
week I talked about him
No,
as his
give him your
fantasy
spiel right
stock
now.
going up. All right.
Oh my gosh. He
AJ's
says
so
that he has a
mad.
super sleeper flyer at tight end. He has Taysom Hill. He can run, throw, and catch the ball. If he actually gets an opportunity to actually play, I mean, we talked a lot about him last year, but Jameis Winston, he's going to go and suck it up over there in New Orleans. Going to get a lot of hate from that. But Allen Lazard, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that because who's going to be the wide receiver one for Green Bay? Reed knows all about it. This guy could go on and on. You've been raving Allen Lazard this whole time when we talk
He's
fantasy
a lizard
football.
king.
Oh my gosh.
War Daddy.
You don't call him War Daddy here.
That's what he's called.
This is a pro fantasy football show. Lazard can block. He's going to be on the field with Aaron Rodgers. See, that's his biggest asset. It's Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so Aaron Rodgers can make a lot of things happen, especially making someone like Lazard look like a king, quote unquote lizard king, whatever you want to call him. I will not call him the other nickname because that's just not what we do here on the show. Okay, Reed. But I do feel like this guy has a lot of upside, and I do feel like you can get him later in the round, so you can get him in a steal for this draft, just because a lot of people, like myself, is a non-believer. Okay, I'm a non-believer. I still think that it's up in the air. I still think that Dubes, what does Vincent call him?
Dobbs.
Romeo Dubes,
Dobbs.
could break out. I still think Christian Watson could come and break out now at the beginning of the season. Or like Reed said, Robert Tanyan, this guy could break it. And shame on you, Johnny, for making Reed so happy right now.
Yes.
Okay, shame on you. We don't do that here. We bash on Reed.
He's from Wisconsin, man. His name is Johnny Wisconsin.
Hey, appreciate you being here on the show, Johnny.
Yes.
Feeling generous, hit that subscribe button. It actually helps us out a lot. But always happy to have new viewers on here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us some content. But yeah, I don't know if you want to continue on with Amon-Ra St. Brown. As we all know, his biggest flaw is Jared Goff.
Yeah, man, that's the only thing I can say. But right now on the NFL fantasy app, he's going at pick 90, just around there. So he's a steal in round 7, 8, or 9. I believe Reed just drafted him yesterday.
I did.
Yeah, I believe it was in round 6.
I'm not positive, but it may have been.
Yeah, I believe it was somewhere around there because
yes.
Reed was the last pick, so it could have been the beginning of round 7 or the end of round 6.
Who knows?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's going to be a steal. He's probably going to be the steal of the draft, in my opinion, if he can keep up his work. And I could see him being a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy this year.
It's tough. It's very tough. And Johnny says that's the biggest problem for the Lions is that they are the Lions. And, even though that's a big problem, I feel like you could substitute the Lions with the Bears because I think that's the biggest problem with the Bears. But when it comes to the Lions, I do feel like they've addressed and fixed a lot of that. I think the biggest problem is Jared Goff. It's Jared Goff bottom line. As long as they got Jared Goff, they will not have a successful season. I know I'm a Niners fan. I know this guy below me is a Seahawks fan, so we talk very poorly about Jared Goff. But honestly, it's the truth. You listen to all these analysts, you listen to whatever, you look at stats. He's had successful seasons over there in with the Rams, but that was with Sean McVay. And that was with the primetime Todd Gurley and the top defense in the NFL. And then you put him with a team like this that has a lot of potential, very young, very enthusiastic. I love watching these Hard Knock shows because I get pumped up. I want to get back out there in the field. MCDC does a great job, and I do think they have great players out there when it comes to, Swift, Hutchinson. Even though he's such a young player, he has so much potential out there. Amon-Ra St. Brown, his upbringing, his father being a Mr. Olympian champion. It's amazing. But yes, as long as they got Jared Goff and as long as they don't fix that Lions mentality, which I do believe it is being fixed. It's all about grit. They will always be the Lions.
I like Jared Goff. They should keep him for a long time.
This guy. Oh, you like him because you're a Green Bay fan.
Yeah,
this guy.
They should keep him forever. All right. We'll move on from Amon St. Brown if AJ's or Vincent's finished.
I am done with him.
All right. I am unfortunately going to talk about.
Are we just going to skip me?
I thought it was my turn.
We're going clockwise or counterclockwise, AJ.
Yeah.
This way.
Oh.
Yeah, that way. Yeah. It was Vincent, me, and then you're trying to skip me. That's really rude.
Whatever.
All right. I'm going to talk about another NFC North team. Unfortunately, I'm going to be talking about the Vikings. I'm going to be talking about Alexander Madison. Alexander Madison was a really good running back 2 for the Vikings last year, coming in for certain games when Dalvin Cook was hurt. What are you doing, AJ, right now?
Say it. What I told you yesterday. What is he?
I forget already.
He's the handcuff player, dude.
Handcuff. I don't even know that. I don't know what that means.
You handcuff Alexander Madison because just in case something happens with Dalvin Cook, we already see we've seen what he can do out there in the field. So you handcuff him. He's the biggest handcuff in the draft.
Okay.
I can't believe you ever heard that term before.
I've never heard that before, but yes, you do that. All right. Dalvin Cook has a high probability of getting hurt this next year, whether if it's for a game or 2 or for a large part of the season. And Alexander Madison is primed to go into that spot and be their RB1. Dude, it's explosive, and the games that he did play, I just saw this comment, and he is not a bigger handcuff than Dylan. AJ Dillon's so good. I'm trying to pick him off the waiver wire in one of my leagues right now. But he is really, really good. Or Pollard. Pollard is a good another handcuff running back. I don't like this handcuff term.
It is. That's the correct term.
I'm not a fan.
Okay, so I like what you did there, Johnny. Okay, can I step in here, Reed?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll finish later.
Okay, I'm going to step in here because he says, is it a bigger handcuff than Dylan? I absolutely think so. Just because, Dalvin Cook has been dealing with injuries these past couple of seasons instead of Aaron Jones. I know, he tweaked a few things, but AJ Dillon, I do feel like he will override Aaron Jones throughout the season just because I do believe he is the pass catching back. I know you talked a little bit about Aaron Jones catching more balls, Reed, but I don't see it, but of course I'm not a Packers fan, but I can definitely see AJ Dillon just overriding Aaron Jones and really taking it because he will be the back for the future. And I also like him saying Pollard because I was talking to you guys about this earlier. The Cowboys, Jerry Jones, they're going to push and they're going to force feed Zeke because they don't like to be wrong. They want to force him to be the guy. What is that?
Yes. AJ Dillon did get drafted. Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Gabriel. Yes, Gabriel picked him up, but he dropped him today.
Oh, he did?
Look at it. Look at the feed.
Yeah, you're right.
Dropped him.
He's available right now? Are you kidding me?
Yes, this is me putting out information that I shouldn't be giving out. He was dropped, and I have put a waiver wire in for him right now.
Wow.
Well, yes. I'll point mine in first.
Yeah, so. Gabriel is the worst fantasy player out there. He's in one of our leagues. I think he's in the NSP league too. So
he's in the NSP league as well.
Be watching him to be making a bunch of mistakes in tonight's live. But back to Alexander Madison. Alexander Madison, he had games with 30.9 points, 33 points, 28 points. The dude was explosive whenever he played, whether getting touchdowns or just a whole bunch of yards, catches. The dude can do it all. And with a potentially high-powered Vikings offense, you can definitely see more of him this next year. So pick him up in these late rounds as one of these handcuff players.
He didn't pick up anyone?
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
he didn't. He just dropped him?
He just picked him up.
Dropped him, Johnny. He just dropped him.
Dude, he's freaking throwing, Johnny. He's throwing. He's throwing. Are you kidding me? I'm so glad he brought this up because I didn't see this.
Yep.
I'm so happy. Gabriel, you did it again.
He does it again, dude.
Yeah.
He's going to get last place again.
Hey, man. First overall pick, and he's like, I don't need AJ Dillon.
Gosh, yes. It's totally throwing. Oh, my gosh. But geez, sorry to interrupt you so many times. Do you want to keep on going?
I'm done. I'm done now.
You're done? Is it my turn? May I go, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about a guy that you could get very, very late. Okay, I got him the third to last round last night, and honestly, I think he's going to be a steal. I think he could be a handcuff player. I think he could be the next CMC. So this is a running back. I'm talking about James Cook, the rookie coming from Georgia that got drafted by the Buffalo Bills. I don't believe in Singletary. I like Singletary. Do I believe that he's going to have a successful year? No, I don't. They are a pass-heavy team, and the Bills James Cook was the number one pass-catching back in the draft. Okay, so what are they going to utilize? He was second running back taken. I don't know, but they're supposed to get McKissick from Washington because he was the number one pass catching back that would have been available in free agency. Unfortunately, or fortunately for Washington, they signed McKissick. So what do? They overstep their boundaries. They draft higher than what they should have just to secure a pass catching back like James Cook. And I fully believe that he will have a very similar, and I do think it will be a better season than someone like Kareem Hunt had last year with the Browns. He's going to be that third down back that catches the majority of the balls just because they're a passing team. They're a passing team, and they want to utilize that backfield, and James Cook is going to be the guy. So if you're in a PPR league, great. If you're in a crazy whack league that is doing points per carry, then great, because we're in that league. We're doing points per carry. I'm scared out of my mind. I've never done points per carry before. But yeah, James Cook, I'm super high on him, and I do believe by midseason, he's going to be a lead back. Okay, he said, bro, I dropped him because I have a better backup. On top of that, I picked up on a waiver. Who'd you pick up, bro?
Yeah, man.
Who'd you pick up?
Philippines.
Yeah, let us know so we can pick him up.
Who'd you pick up, dude? Who'd you got on the waiver wire? Why are you dropping AJ Dillon, bro? Oh, points per carry? Yeah, points per carry. So just like PPR, which is points per reception. So every time they catch the ball, they get a point. For running backs, we did do a whole point because a whole point is crazy. We're doing 0.3.
We should have done it. We should have done it.
So every time a running back gets the ball and runs, doesn't matter if they get 0 yards, they automatically get 0.3 points. Yeah. And so, yeah, Nick Chubb was number one, LOL. Yeah, he was. But Kareem Hunt was that third down back, that pass catching back. And you saw him get a lot of production, which was a top tier running back 3 or a top tier flex for any team out there that was in a PPR league, just because of how many receptions he's gotten. And especially in the red zone, they utilize him. They got to keep that defense on their toes. They have Stephon Diggs that they got to double coverage. They have a big old tight end that they got to cover, and they got to also have a QB spy because Josh Allen likes to run the ball. So I think it's a perfect fit. I think James Cook could have a lot of production this upcoming fantasy season. I need a breather.
Not bad, man. I'll give you that breather.
Thank you.
Gabe just put a comment. I don't know if we can put it on.
We can put it on there.
But the next guy.
Reed hasn't won in our league. Gabe, former champ. How'd you do last year, Gabe? Can you remind me where you placed? I didn't win, but I got second place. So let me know down in the comments what you placed.
I would like to say, Gabriel, thank you so much for joining us live.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate you having you here. We miss you, man. We do. As you know, towards the end of the show, we will be doing a raffle to see who goes first and who goes last in our draft. So, and feel free to join our draft live. Okay, we're going to be sending invites out so you could join us here on the show while we do our draft live, which is after this show. So it will be at 7:00. Or if you just want to watch us draft, watch us BS with each other, talk crap, because last night was pretty fun. Go ahead and join us. We're going to have a lot of fun there. Okay.
Yeah, man. So as we finish up this show, I got one guy left to talk about. He's an older guy. But yes, James Cook can do well for sure. He's in the best situation with the Bills. They're one of the number 1 teams in the NFL. But this one guy is on a decent team now, and he was on the number 1 team in the NFL last year. They won the Super Bowl, and that's Mr. Robert Woods. He is coming off an ACL tear. He only did play 9 games last year, but he was very productive in 9 games. He had 556 yards, 45 receptions, and 4 touchdowns. That was with the LA Rams before he got hurt, but now he's going to the Tennessee Titans, who are a number 1 run defense in the NFL, if you can say that. But in my opinion, Robert Woods is slated to slide in and possibly be the number 1 wide receiver there because AJ Brown is gone. And that is the only reason I have him as a steal, because of the production that he had with the LA Rams when he was there for those, I believe it was 3 or 4 years. But he is older. He is 30 years old. He seems like he's an older wide receiver, like 32 or 33, but he's 30 years old coming off an ACL tear. I think the possibility for him getting double-digit points every game is very, very possible. He's a guy who is very reliable. We saw that when he was with the Rams. I believe we saw that also when he was on Hard Knocks a long time ago, just like Johnny Wisconsin said earlier in the comments. But yeah, I think Robert Woods is has the ability to be a very good wide receiver there and really take over what AJ Brown was doing when they weren't running the ball with Derrick Henry. So in my opinion, he's going right now at pick 95. So he's another steal at the round of 7, 8, and 9. So if he's there on your board in those rounds, I say he's a pretty good pick to go with. A lot of people are scared to draft him because he's coming off of an ACL tear, which is very understandable. But again, this is Robert Woods. He's never really had any injuries to worry about. So this is his first one. And, he's taking his recovery very seriously, especially since he's with a new team this year.
Super serial. Like I said, we don't want to keep this show too long, but I do have a couple of honorable mentions. No. I mean, yes, you do take him over Cooper.
Okay.
Amari Cooper.
Copper Coop?
No,
Amari.
That's not how you spell Cooper Cup. Remember? Amari Cooper? Browns? Number one receiver. Who's throwing to him? Who's throwing to? It's not Jimmy G anymore. He's not going to have a great season. He's going to suck. What do you have? Jacoby Brissett? You think they're going to lead him 11 games? No, not at all. No, you take Robert Woods. You take your chances. I do believe they will both be low-tier wide receivers. For sure, wide receiver 3. I don't know what tier they will be, but I do feel like it will be low-tier. But no, I do not believe in Amari Cooper. He has dropped tremendously. If he would have kept Baker Mayfield, if they would have had Deshaun Watson, if they would have traded for Jimmy G, I think he would have risen up. But that didn't happen. So I don't really believe too much in Jacoby Brissett. I believe in too much in the past, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. But a good honorable mention I will mention was my blue chip player of the year last year was Rashad Bateman. He did have an okay rookie season last year with the Baltimore Ravens. I do feel like he could have a better year. He will be wide receiver 2 because Andrews the tight end will be wide receiver 1. That's for sure. But Bateman could have a lot of responsibility now that he will be the sole wide receiver 1 for that team, not for fantasy, but for the team. So I do like that. The reason why I have him so low, and I do feel like he will be a steal, is just because of the fact that the Baltimore Ravens do not like to throw the ball a lot. They are a run-heavy team, and they rush the most out of the league. Cooper. So, Cooper, Browns, you would pick Mike Williams over him.
It's a hard one, man. Last year, Mike Williams did very well in the beginning, but as you saw, as teams figured him out, Mike Williams was pretty much irrelevant, and Keenan Allen was, again, the number 1 receiver. Well, he was always the number 1 receiver, but Mike Williams was taking a lot into that. I just don't think the Chargers are super, super dynamic at wide receiver. Mike Williams is just a big, heavy guy who can go up there and snag balls, and I think Keenan Allen's going to be, of course, the only guy that you should really draft there besides Eckler. And, of course, Justin Herbert. But at those skill positions like running back and wide receiver, I think that Eckler and Keenan Allen are the only guys that are going to be consistent. Mike Williams will not. I think AJ had him last year, and AJ was like, "Oh, do I put him in? Do I not put him in? Like, I don't know if he get 30 points. I don't know if he's going to get 2 points."
Super consistent. I hated that. I should have traded him when I had a chance.
Yeah, man. I remember I made a trade offer for you.
Yeah, you made a strong trade offer too, and I said no way, Jose. But I regretted that immediately. But yes, you will take Amari Cooper over Mike Williams. A lot of people are on this Mike Williams train just because you saw a spurt of him for the first 6 games or 5 games. Actually, he did great, but all of a sudden he fell off the cliff of the earth. Just was producing 2 points, 5 points. It just wasn't worth it. And if you listen to me talk about fantasy, the number one thing I look for is consistency. And Mike Williams is the exact opposite of consistency. So he is really low on the draft board. Would I still draft him? Yeah, but very, very low, probably as a backup, not even a wide receiver 3. But Amari Cooper definitely will be a great high tier or high to mid tier wide receiver 3. Hope we answered your questions. Thanks for all the questions, you guys. Honestly, it helps out a lot. We love talking fantasy. We have so much to offer, so much to talk about. If you guys are ready, we could go ahead and go to the draft picks. Yeah?
Do it.
Okay. Even though we are going to draft picks, y'all, go ahead.
Right, Reed?
What's he saying?
Let's hope Reed gets number 1.
Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you. Even though we are going to draft picks right now, feel free to continue to ask us questions. We will still continue to answer them live here on the show. Okay, we're not that type of show where we see your question and ignore it because that's not our topic of the day. But feel free to keep on bombarding us with questions. We love this kind of stuff. But let's get right into it. Let me go ahead and get my screen shared. Hopefully, y'all will see my search history because I'm looking up cheat codes for fantasy football.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Come on. What were you thinking, Reed?
I was just thinking.
Stop being so weird, dude.
You just look up of cool pics of Reed and the
Cool
Packers.
pics of Reed.
Cool pics of Reed.
Cool pics of Reed the Speed.
Ooh.
Okay, here we go, you guys. We got 10 people on this list. We have a 10-man team. Of course, not everyone is here live, so I'm a little disappointed that not everyone from our draft is live on here, but that's okay. It was expected. This is our first year of doing it, so if you are interested, let us know. We will definitely add you for next year's draft, or I don't know, if we get enough people, we might have to do a second league, and the draft will be next week. But that's only if we get enough people, okay? Because I'm already in enough leagues. I'm going to win too many trophies, and I just cannot go on with this. So without further ado, let's get started. We're gonna spin that wheel.
So exciting.
It is. I'm pumped out of my mind. No, that's
Okay.
That's Jerry's
Pete?
World. That is
That's
Pete
Pete.
De La Pena.
Let's go, Pete.
So I am actually going to go here on my other page. I'm going to move Pete to the very top. Congratulations, Pete. You're first. You got the most pressure on you. Let's go ahead and remove him from the wheel. And now let's spin that wheel. Okay, you guys lost.
Are we going to do that every time?
No, we're not. I just
Okay.
want to do it one more time.
Okay.
Jeez.
Oh,
Oh,
Great
Okay.
Whites.
the Great Whites. That's Nick De La Rosa. Hey,
Yep.
congratulations, Nick. You are
Dude.
pick number 2, baby. So let me find him over here. Great Whites, pick number
Reed.
2.
Reed, what would you do if you're pick 10 again?
I would say this is the most rigged thing ever.
You know what? I think next year in our personal league, I think we should do a wheel spin. Just so you know that I don't cheat.
Vince the
this
Prince.
guy's a
Oh my,
cheater.
this guy's bull. We're gonna respin here, you guys. So we are respinning. Don't worry, no cheaters are allowed here. Congratulations, Vince. Johnny says he's been in a lot of mock drafts this year, and he hates getting the number 1 overall pick. There's a lot of pressure on you. There
Yeah.
really is. The new Fantasy World Order, that is Gabe. He's actually here in the comment section. New Fantasy World Order, great
Pick
name,
number
by the
4.
way. At pick number 4, which is the worst pick in the world. I'm just kidding. I'm just throwing some shade here.
That's what you had yesterday, no?
No, I had pick
Alright.
3. I had pick 3.
Oh.
Let's
All right,
spin
this
that
is
wheel
where,
once
this is
again.
where I want to get my pick.
Right here,
5 or
Reed,
6.
right here.
5 or 6.
No way.
Oh,
this
no.
guy.
I'm so what kind of fantasy boo? What kind of fantasy name is that? Congratulations, Benny. You got pick 5. Let's keep it moving. Geez, man. I want to get picked. Am I going to get last?
No, it's gonna be Reed.
Nestor. Zombie K98. Zombie K98, you're getting pick 6. Congratulations, my
I'm gonna
man.
get the last pick.
You are. It's you and me, man. It's you and me.
See, Reed, I told you I didn't do anything wrong, Reed.
No, it's just my luck.
It's just the fantasy
Oh
gods.
my
And,
gosh.
and Vincent hates me also.
It's the fantasy gods, bro. Oh my god.
Oh,
my
okay, there
God.
you go, Reed. Yeah,
I'll
Reed.
take 7. I'll take 7.
Participation award goes to Reed. Israel, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us live. Y'all, you're very low on here, man. You're very low.
And you're about to be 8 or 9 or 10.
Let's see. Hey, man, if I'm gonna get dead last, I'd rather get dead last.
Okay.
There we go,
Okay,
King
Israel.
Israel. Hey, man, congratulations, man. You are pick 7. So let's
8.
go ahead. Oh,
8.
8? Is it 8?
I'm 7.
Oh yeah, you're right. He is pick 8. Let's continue on. Now it's just me and my father.
Ooh, the Garzas.
The Garzas. What the
Oh
hell?
shoot, my bad. Alvarados.
Nike Air Uke, dude. Let's go,
Air
man.
Yuck.
Air
Oh,
Uke.
yuck.
Air
Oh
Yuck.
my gosh, dude. Oh,
What a name there.
nice. We got one more spin. Let's spin
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
wheel.
Woo.
Yeah. Nice. Let's see who gets this one.
Ooh, you didn't even get pick 10, man. It's not on your name.
Nice. So congratulations. Here is the order. We got Jerry's Roll number 1, Great Whites number 2, Vince the Prince 3, New Fantasy Roll to order 4. I'm so into sandals. Worst name in fantasy football ever. Pick 5. Zombie K98 6. NSP Packer Talk 7. With the unoriginal logo. King Israel 8. Nike Air Uke at 9,
Yuck.
and then Gold Rush I 10. Okay, if you're saying it's yuck, then it's dubs. Or Doobs.
No,
Doobs.
Yes.
he came out and told people it's Dobbs.
Oops.
Respect the man, all right? Come on.
We appreciate every single one of y'all. We are going to go live again. What time is it? We are going to go live again in 20 minutes. Okay, so in 20 minutes, we're going to go live. We're going to do our fantasy draft. And so if you guys want to join, feel free to ask us some fantasy football questions. If you want, you could actually join us here on the show. Okay, if you want to join us on the show, and you know what? I'm so desperate that you don't even have to be part of the damn draft. Okay, so if you want to join us here on the show, find us here. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, email us, we're on TikTok. We just posted a video today. Find us somewhere there, DM me. I will send you a link on how to join us. Okay, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're on StreamYard. Honestly, we're just going to kick back, relax, talk football, talk fantasy, and talk crap. Okay, because that is what we do here. We have a lot of fun. I do want to give a special shout out to Johnny Wisconsin. It's the first time on the show. Appreciate you. We see you, brother. Okay, go Vikings. They're going to win that division. We all said it here, even Reed. So if you're a non-believer, oh well.
No,
But consider hitting that subscribe button. We appreciate every single one of y'all.
Fans.
We will see you guys in 20 minutes. And until next time, keep grinding.